What is up, Geralds? Welcome back to another video. Today is once again me showing off some new animations for my game Object Shooter. If you don't know about my game Object Shooter, well, I should say my future game, it's, as the title may suggest, a shooter game where you use objects as guns. Now, I've previously shown off quite a few animations that I've made in Blender. Recently, I got a PC, or a laptop, and so now I can actually make hopefully better animations, because I am now on a much later version of Blender. I was using a 17-year-old Mac desktop that has the capabilities of a 2018 Blender version. It was like version 2.8 or something. I don't even remember. It was just really early. So now I'm on 4.0 because my laptop actually can handle some stuff. Now, the first two animations come from that 17-year-old Mac, and then the last two come from my recent laptop. So the first one is a sort of scenario, shall we call it, where we see a guy load up his Bimtendo AK. So basically, if you haven't seen, this is one of my first ever guns that I made, where it's a controller by this fictional company called Bimtendo, and this AK style gun, it shoots a guy, an enemy, and he gets knocked down. So it's a pretty simple scenario. It's about 8 seconds long, so not a ton, probably not my best animation ever, but it's just kind of showing off what it would sort of be like to be playing the game. Obviously not from a first-person point of view like the game actually is. Now the second animation, this one is around the same amount of time. This one is actually in first person, and here we go. This has my TV remote shotgun, one of my favorite guns that I have made. One of my favorite animations I've ever made was actually me shooting and reloading the gun. It was pretty cool. So you just shoot a guy, shatter him, load up your leaf blower LMG, and then shatter the next guy. So I thought this was pretty cool. I found this like shatter animation when I was working on the old Mac. I'm not sure where it is on my new Blender. I completely forgot where it was, so I'll have to see if I can find that again. But then the third one, this is my first animation I ever made on my new PC. I think it was pretty clean. It's just a speak and spell. So if you know what, if you've seen like Toy Story, it's meant to be like that guy. I'll show a picture up where he has a bunch of the, like, he has a keyboard on it, and then it speaks it for you. You probably know what a speak and spell is. So it's meant to be an SMG, pretty simple one. You shoot the guy, and then it's kind of hard to see in this animation, but it's meant to go and spell out reload. So you spell out reload, you press enter, and then it reloads the gun. That's the simple concept. There's no magazine. It's like a built-in magazine, sort of. It's like an energy weapon sort of thing. I think it's pretty cool. I wanted to use this weapon for a while, but I put it off for quite a bit, and then I thought I'd do it for my first animation on my new PC. I think it looks pretty nice. The guy falling apart is a bit goofy looking, but that's alright. But this next one is the longest one I've ever made. It's 15 seconds long, and this is one of the most complicated, complex 3D models I've made. Everything but the gun handle was made only by me, and honestly, I really like this animation. I'll show it right now. So you start off by shooting a guy hidden or crouching behind a little rectangular prism. So you shoot him 3 times, then you hit this really slick reload animation, where you hit the eject button. So this, I probably should have mentioned this before. This is an actual object, we'll call it. This is an actual voice recorder I have in real life. I found it at a yard sale a couple of years ago. It was really intriguing to me. I really like old tech, just tech in general. But I especially like seeing old tech to see where we've come from. So this really cool voice recorder, it came with 2 cassettes. One of my friends actually destroyed one of the cassette tapes, which pisses me off to this day. Really annoying. I would have liked to have 2 cassettes. It's kind of hard to come by cassette tapes and stuff. I do have 1 cassette that I have recorded a little bit on. Audio is not the greatest, as you might expect. I believe it's from like the 70s or 80s, so you know, it's kind of expected that it's gonna be not the best. But enough of my yapping. We can see that you press the eject button, you pop out the cassette, twirl it around to the other side, because there's an A and B side, and then you pop it back in, you run up and shoot this guy that's behind this cylinder, kind of meant to be like a barrel. If we actually were to like texture this, and this were to be like an actual scenario, it would be like a barrel. You shoot the guy, then you hit the reload, or you hit the eject button, then you bring in a new cassette, and then slap it in. I think it's one of my most clean animations I've made yet. It's probably my favorite reload animations. It's one of the first that I ever really had a concept for. I think it was because I had my DS gun first, and then I had that Bimtendo AKA that I made, and then this one was probably one of my first ones after that. So it was really clean because the flip, I wasn't expecting it until I finished making the animation, but like it's really crisp, it's really clean. The reload, just twirling around that cassette, it just looks really nice. And then that last reload where you take it out of the cassette and put in a new one, I think it looks even better than the original one where you twirl it. Either way, it's just it's such a good one. It's such a good animation, in my opinion. Definitely my favorite one that I've ever made. And that's the last one. Now, this has been in the works for a while. Well, unintentionally, because the first 2 were made in September and November before I got it, and then the last couple were made January and then yesterday. So, you know, this has been a few months in the making unintentionally, but I still think they look pretty good. If you have any suggestions on what scenarios that you'd like me to see me animate a little bit of, more than just shooting and reloading a couple guys using 1 or 2 guns, and tell me in the comments with those scenarios. Let me know. Also, while you're down there, let me know some suggestions for guns that you'd like to see me make. I haven't modeled any new guns in quite a bit, so it will take me a little bit to get back into the flow of making a model. But if you have any suggestions, let me know in the comments. I will definitely take them into consideration. The last time I showed off some animations, I had a couple guns in there that were actually taken from community members' suggestions, and I will be crediting them when I eventually make the game. I will credit them in the description of the gun. So if you want to be part of this game, then just leave a comment with a suggestion, and it might just get into the game. With that, I hope you enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe, follow the socials, join the Discord. I'll see you guys in the next video.